Hello, and welcome to Seascapades, a new adventure set in the world of Theris. I am Senna, your DM, and today I'm joined by...
She's joined by me, Mike, playing this time again, playing the Triton Druid Warrior Delmar.
Alright, well, my name is Miles, and I am playing the ingenious, gentle kobold Yippen Hastavet de la Shankheim. I'm a kobold paladin.
And I'm Zaffin, and I am playing Zavern Windsong, the soon-to-be world-famous bard.
And our friend Kitties will be here a little bit later. She's running late. So last time, the party met in the Siren Song Tavern and Inn, talking to Marianne the Gold, the admiral of her own treasure hunting fleet. She told them about a tower in the middle of the sea that she's heard has treasure. After meeting with Francis, their captain for the journey, the party headed off to the Sickle, a shady bar in the southern half of the town, where they were greeted by a host of salty dogs. After drinking, trying some surprisingly delicious mutton, and regaling the tavern patrons with a sea shanty and descriptions of Yip's lady love, the party headed back to the Siren Song to pick up a bottle of wine, Zavrin getting a free bottle for making the barkeep laugh. The party then headed in for the night, Delmar diving deep into the ocean and finding a nice comfy spot on the seafloor to sleep. The next day, the party sailed off into the horizon, with Delmar blessing the party with water walk and water breathing should something bad happen. Their journey was relatively quiet at first, with Delmar meeting some friendly orca who told them about a large turtle roaming about, and Yip transforming Tater Trot into humanity, a noble water horse. The quiet was short-lived, though, with sirens attacking the party and stunning them with their beautiful siren song. They snapped out of it quickly and dispatched of the sirens with little issue, Yip launching himself off of Hugh and dealing the killing blow on the final siren, pinning her to the deck of the ship and killing her with a blast of radiant energy that shone out of her eyes and mouth, her death scream fading off into nothing. The night was quiet, the stars overhead creating a dazzling light show around the two moons, and the next day the party made it to the tower, making quick use of their abilities to swim into the tower, not needing to wait for low tide. Inside, they found destruction and sorrow, humanoid bones littering the rooms around the tower. The party did manage to find some valuables, gold bowls, plates, some tableware, and a few gold pieces scattered here and there. At the pinnacle, they found some magical sea glass, which Zavrin mage-handed into the bowl in the center of the floor, triggering visions of panic, bloodshed, sorrow, a flea to a mine, and a titan. We opened today at sunset, the party back on the ship with an expectant-looking Francis. We will... I guess number 2. Alright, and so Francis, she turns to you guys and she puts her hands on her hips. She says, "Well, what'd you find?"
I begin pulling golden flatware and bowls out of my bag.
He gestures to it, and Delmar says, "We were expecting more of a fight. If I'm correct, the way you framed this trial, you seem to expected us to face adversity, but there was nothing. Just, dead."
Well, we wanted you guys to be prepared if there was. We knew hardly anything about this tower. We, thought we should check it out after we discovered it. And she, begins inspecting the bowls and the tableware. And she nods and she says, "This stuff should fetch a good price."
We also saw something very interesting at the top of the tower. It was a, he looks to, Yip. How would you describe it? It was seemed like a sanctified room. It had a bowl in the middle with water that, seemed to be warm, unnaturally, and was surrounded by, shards of sea glass. And,
Were we not telling her about the vision?
Vision?
Did we agree not to? I don't remember
I do
having
not
that
remember.
conversation. I don't think we
I
had
think
that
we'll have to
conversation.
tell her. We saw something dangerous and all sorts of freaky.
I was getting to it.
Well, I will allow you to describe it to her.
He says, No, by all means. You may if you wish, my leader.
It is every leader's greatest pride to see a subordinates tell of a tale of an adventure that they have completed. I will sit right here and I will be regarded by your... And I kind of like sit on the little side of the boat. By your wonderful description of our vision.
He says, oh, that's why. As Mike scrolls through the chat with Senna to find that thing she sent him. There it is.
Oh,
he says, Delmar says, kind of, pulls up his iridescent, plate mail, shell plate mail, and he says, well, it seemed to transmit a sort of emotion to each of us. There were visions of violence, merfolk men, a depiction of the god Aquantis. Do you know of it? And a blue-skinned woman, not entirely sure if it is a Triton like me, but she was fleeing into what appeared to be a mine. And then there were flashes of creatures that I have heard referred to as dwarves, but they had gray skin and dark eyes. And there was a different flash of emotion, a sorrow feeling, and then a large creature, a titan, coming to life. Did I miss anything? He says.
No, I think that's all of it, actually.
Yeah, I think that was it. She furrows her brow and says, well, I'm no historian. I've heard of Aquantis, but dark visions, they usually only come with dark times.
Since I'm from, like, you know, the underground places, do I actually know the Duragar? Or no?
I don't know. I think you would have heard stories of the Dark Dwarves, but you would know that they're died out.
Common.
They died out a long time ago.
Well, when I remember dwarves of grey skin, I think of an old race that died. Probably from weakness. Perhaps we were experiencing their extinction.
Delmar screws up his brow. Doesn't know what to make of that.
Hey, kitties.
Hi, kitties.
I get it.
Hello.
We are back on the ship, and we're talking about. We're back on the ship from the tower, and we're talking about the vision we all experienced with the captain.
The captain was very impressed by our holly meal. Lots of golden plates. Very good for eating, I think.
Well, you know, we have Yip to thank for that. Such a dynamic leader.
A glorious leader is capable of collecting much more than the rest of us.
And Francis smiles and pats Yip on the back. And then she says, well, you'll need to tell Marianne about this. She'll want to know.
About the gold or the vision?
Both.
Is she a studier of history?
No, but she knows this area really well. And Francis starts yelling at the deckhands, and they get started on like lowering the oars and backing away from the tower, and you guys get started on your way.
Omar stretches and he looks to his companions and he says, "My friends, it is all the same to you. I think it is time we crack open one of those bottles of wine."
I second that.
Oh.
That's a
I
spirit,
believe that
Zavrin.
is an affirmative noise.
He looks to the captain and says, "Are there any glasses aboard?"
There sure are. You're more than welcome to go down to the kitchens, and I'm sure Hob will get you some.
I will go to this hub and I will make him get us some. I will be right back. I begin heading down into the ship.
Yep, ask for glasses, not just some.
Not for what?
Ask for glasses.
Yes, that was what I will do that. Yes. So I scurry down, I find Hobbs, and I ask him, yes, I need glasses. I need 4 glasses. Clean, if preferable.
He smiles at you and nods, and then he's only got one hand and a hook on the other, so he tries to like scoop him up in his arms, and he sets him down on a table near you.
So what is
there
the
you go.
utility of this device as I kind of like hold my hand over his little hook?
Well, it's good for tearing up meat and tearing up people.
Do you have alternatives that you can switch out with the hook? Perhaps the spatula?
No, but that would be a good idea.
You might be able to balance the glasses better on a spatula. And I grab all the glasses and I say, thank you again! And I head off. I return to my party and I just hand them all a glass.
Who's got the wine? Who's
I
the
thought
wine?
it was you.
Do I have the wine? He looks in his...
You gave me back the stuff. Unless, perhaps?
I do! And he pulls out a bottle of wine.
It was either you or Zabrin, yeah.
Maybe we're both carrying one.
We both have one.
Pull out one, and he says, "Does anybody have? I learned this. I learned this trick. Well, don't know if I'd be the right one to do it, but does anyone have a saber?"
Oh. I take out my rapier.
Do you think this will? Do you think this will serve? It's supposed to be. Is there enough weight?
Oh.
Don't
I
worry.
don't know. You're the one.
It was a trick I saw at a tavern. A sailor took a bottle and used the saber to cut off the top for it to pour.
That sounds interesting.
Go on, go on.
There's
I will
also the
see.
trick with the shoe.
Mm,
He takes
Are you
the.
gonna,
I've
are you gonna
heard
try
of
and
this trick
saber
with
the
shoe.
bottle?
He's
I look
going.
at my scaled feet that don't have shoes. I'm like, I suggest the saber, yes.
He takes the rapier. He tests the weight of it, and he holds the bottle up. He palms the bottle where the outer the outer side and the bottom of it, where it widens out. The wide part is in the palm of his hand, and he holds it out with the neck facing away from him. And he takes the rapier and he lines up the blade with the tip of the neck of the bottle, and he's kind of measuring up his strike. He says, Admittedly, I've only seen this done. I've never done it myself. So, get your glasses ready. We might have to salvage.
Immel looks at Delmar and says, "Don't they usually do this with champagne?"
Who's
I
it?
remember bubbles being part of wine when the saber comes out. But maybe I'm mistaken.
He shrugs and he says, "It was a bottle with the same shape."
Well, we should
Immel
try to
shrugs.
follow traditions.
All right, he's going to try to save.
Delmar, in order to succeed, your desire should be greater than your fear of failure. I inspire you.
All right.
All right, roll a dex check.
Oh man, a dex check. Okay.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, that's a flat d20. So it's gonna be that plus what's
D10.
D10. Nice. All right.
Yeah, high level.
So he goes for it. Yeah, right.
That's pretty good. You managed to saber off the top of the wine bottle,
And he holds
but
it
nothing comes out.
up. And he holds it
So.
up. And he says, he's ready to. He looks at the party. He's ready to pour.
It was truly impressive.
I clap. Oh,
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I
your
sing, you
swordsmanship
get to clap louder.
leaves much to desire.
He says, I'm better at pole arms. He says, but
Oh,
offer a glass, one of you. Before I drink all the wine myself.
Immel puts her glass out.
He pours. And he pours a hearty amount. Practically full.
Now these just normal like wine glasses, or they look like cups.
They're like they're metal cups.
Okay.
Alright.
I begin to hold mine up just above my head.
He
Try to
pours.
balance it so it makes it easier for him.
He crouches a little, he leans a little bit, grabs the cup, and then pours for Yip. Zavarin!
oh.
And he pours. And he pours his own glass, and he takes a big sip.
Lifting my cup up, I say, I would like to propose a toast.
Of course.
I've been hearing this noise very frequently, so to oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Tink, tink, tink. Not even tink, like clank, clank, clank.
It is delicious wine. You guys got a good deal on it.
It's all smooth, and it's like not really tart or vinegary.
Mm-hmm.
This is good stuff.
I'm not familiar
I
with
see.
good stuff, but I will trust your opinion.
Do you like it or not?
I don't drink very often.
Oh, I see.
Weakens the faculties. You must be sharp,
This is
ready
true.
for combat every time.
It's a fine wine. Thank you for sharing.
It was for all of us.
I suppose it's a pass. It's not the best I've ever had, it's not the worst.
Well, I have been very tired from climbing stairs for hours, so I am going to recover in my room. I
Is it-
yell over the side of the boat, Hugh! Don't do anything stupid!
He waves his little like flipper at you.
Immel asks Yip, how will he know if it's stupid? He's an animal.
You underestimate Hugh. He is a magnificent sea beast now, a killer whale, as he said.
Is that what we're calling him now?
Is he not? I made it look exactly like it.
Captain Yip,
Yes.
you should rejoice in the pain that you feel today. A former lover of mine told me once that Pain is just weakness leaving the body.
Why would one store weakness in their body?
It accumulates.
There is no weakness in me. My body is very slender.
Oh.
Yeah, Delmar goes over to Zavern and just just nudges him and just laughs with him.
Oh, I'm trying to get. I'm doing it right.
It's dark, right?
Yeah, it's dark.
Okay. He takes another. He quaffs the glass, and then he pours what little is left. I'm assuming that we've been just going around pouring until the wine bottle is empty.
Oh yeah.
And Delmar says, I agree with Yip. I believe it is time to rest and be ready for tomorrow.
I enjoyed sleeping on deck. I think I'll do it again tonight.
Be careful not to fall off the boat. And I begin heading downstairs.
Is Zavern going to bed too?
Uh-huh.
All right. So after you all go to sleep, Delmar, you have a dream.
It's my turn for dream sequences. Yeah.
Yes, it sure is. You see the beautiful blue-skinned woman again.
Wait. Do you have music for this?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
Of course I don't.
Just making sure. Beautiful blue-skinned woman.
Only this time, you see her at the pinnacle of the tower. And she has the sea glass chunks in her hands, and she's whispering over them. They flare to life in her hands, and they glow brightly. And she throws them out, and she scatters them across the marble floor. You notice that the runes that were around the bowl are painted blue and gold, and the sea glass dome is complete. There's no panels missing. It's sparkling a beautiful green and teal. You can hear the fighting coming from the lower tiers of the tower, and it sounds like it's getting closer. You can hear the panic screams from the people below echoing through the atrium. The woman turns to face the stairs, and merfolk ascend, carrying spears. And she says something that sounds a little like primordial, but it's in a dialect you can't quite understand. And the merfolk advance on her, and she says something again, and they lower their spears and spear her through her chest. She gasps out in pain and begins to flee, sending out a harsh wave of radiant energy. The merfolk who attacked her crumble and turn to dust as she leaps through the archway and dives into the sea. Your dream fades out, and back in, centered on a mine entrance, the dark dwarves are ushering the wounded woman into the mine, and in the distance you see two towering mountains, an eagle circling in the sky before you wake up. And you wake up in the middle of the night.
Sacre-mère! Looks around in his dark cabin. Ugh. He sits up and he puts his hand on his head. Convenient.
He
looks out the porthole. Is there a porthole that he can see the outside of the outside sky?
Yes, it sure is.
And it's still dark and all that.
It's dark, but you see a cold, eerily green fog blowing in from the western, well, your side of the ship, the left side of the ship.
Oh, what is this, huh? And he gets up and he, still looking outside, he starts donning his armor. He's got his eyes focused on it. It takes 15 minutes to don armor. Does anything change?
The fog is getting closer.
Oh dear. And he leaves his room and he knocks on doors. He says, "There is trouble. Wake up.
Oh!
Amel." Oh wait, Amel's on the ship. And then he goes over to Yip. "Grand leader." "Oh, great leader." "Sir Yip,
I kind of like stretch. Yeah. What? What is going on?
don your armor. We have trouble."
Trouble. Yes, I will don the armor. I begin running over and scrambling.
And he starts to go outside, be on the deck. He goes out.
Alright, make me a perception check.
Alright, for when he's out on deck.
Yep.
Alright. Do I see anything immediate? Like, is there any crew out? Do I see ML?
You see Emma, she's still asleep,
Alright.
but there's no other crew members on the deck that you can see. You suspect that there might be someone in the crow's nest, but you don't know for sure.
Alright, here comes the perception check.
Okay.
Not too bad.
You look over to the fog that is it seems to be moving much quicker now, and you can see a ship in the middle of the fog, and it looks not quite right.
He shouts out, what's the captain's name? I'm totally misplaced it in my brain.
Francis Rack.
He says, "Captain Francis!"
I feel like his screams would wake Emma.
They're pretty loud.
What's going on?
He says, he hears Emil and he says, "Look!" And he points.
And Emil sees the fog and the ship in the middle. And
That's not good.
your shout rouses the man in the crow's nest. And he looks out and
"Sound the alarm!"
you hear like panic scrambling as he tries to find his horn, and then he blows 3 short blasts. And it takes a minute, but then you see just a flurry of activity. Frances comes up from below deck. She's just her hair is unbraided and wild, and she's wearing only like a night shift. Deckhands, some with only a single boot on, others wearing only their knickers. They pull the anchor aboard and handle the ropes. And as Frances gets up to the helm, you see her yank a crystal off of one of the masts. And it's a crystal on a chain. She throws it onto the deck and then stomps it with her heel. And then all of you suddenly feel this like lurching feeling, like whenever an elevator starts to go down, and it's a lot more intense than that.
What the hell did you just do?
Some of the deckhands like fall over, and there's a sudden burst of wind that goes over the deck of the ship, and then forms a vortex around the ship. And the ship starts to sink below the water. And Frances, she pulls her hair out of her face. And she says, "I'm sorry I didn't tell you guys about this sooner. We only use that in emergencies. And we only have an hour before the spell wears off. Hopefully we'll lose them."
Lose who?
She points out over to the fog at the ship, and she says, "That ship
"Do you know who
has
they are?"
plagued us for a decade. We don't know who they are. We only see it once or twice a year, but it ends up chasing us down and has nearly capsized us more than once. We've managed to avoid it for the last couple of years, so it's due time we saw it again." So the ship is currently underwater, protected by a vortex of air, and seems to be moving at a steady pace.
"Have you seen who mans the ship? And the captain is?"
Oh, they're abominations. They're undead things. They're not right.
Do you have any idea what their number is?
Definitely more than 3.
He looks at his companions, and you see Delmar has a little bit of a twinkle, a little bit of a wild look in his eye.
What do you know of naval battles, Delmar?
Huh?
Can we outmaneuver a ship of the dead?
Don't mean to outmaneuver them. I mean to get on deck and slay them all.
A true act willing of many favors from the Gold One later.
Although I'm brave, but I'm not stupid. I believe we should see what we're dealing with before we dive in.
Correct.
Sounds quite prudent.
Alright. So Francis mans the helm of the ship for another hour before you see the vortex start to like waver
Oh, wait a minute.
and shift.
So a whole hour passes.
Yeah.
I am. Let's see. Because I'm thinking of wild shaping and exploring that ship a bit.
Well, the ship that you're on, Francis's ship, is currently moving like through the water, like as fast as they can go. Like the oars are going, and they're trying to get away from the ship.
Okay. Never mind. So he sees that, he reconsiders it.
So if you want to play number 4,
Got it.
so after an hour, you see that the vortex the ship starts to groan, and the ship like resurfaces. You feel that lurching feeling again, and you're in the middle of the ocean. You can't see the tower anymore. You're in the middle of the ocean.
Can I, I would like to cast those 2 rituals on my allies while this hour is transpiring.
Okay. And then Frances grabs her spyglass, and she looks out over the water, and she turns white.
What do you see?
And then she points out, and you can see that the ship you thought you were going away from it has suddenly managed to get right in front of you guys.
So, you said more than 3. Is there more than 10?
I haven't seen more than 10.
Delmar draws his glaive.
Alright.
I draw my loot.
Go ahead and position yourself where you think you would be.
Very edge.
And the like gray, weird, eerily like off-looking ship gets closer and closer to you. The green fog rolling over the sides of the deck, and you see as you get closer. Hold on. Can you see him now?
You can.
Did I do it? Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Alright, you see these guys. The 4 down here look like they are, they look like zombies, only more like hardy. They have armor. Their eyes are like black holes, and there's just this like aura of black energy around them. And then at the helm of the ship is a hooded, cloaked figure with a spellbook at its side. And the ship gets closer and closer, and go ahead and roll initiative.
What are the weather conditions like?
It is a cloudy night.
Alright.
Yes. Oh, I meant to clear it.
Oh,
Okay.
it was clear.
Hold on just a second.
It's clear from our end. I don't think Yip is that small.
I am that small. I'm a small creature.
You look like you're more... Well, okay, no, yeah. You're like between a quarter and a sixth the size of that
It
token.
looks like I'm about a quarter.
I don't know why your thing keeps showing up as that.
It's because I'm a small creature, and that's the Roll20 small creature size.
No, Justin's.
Oh, Justin's.
Yeah, I don't know why that name keeps coming up.
I'll have to fix it.
Zavrin
There we
Wind
go.
song?
No, on the thing it comes up as the random generated name for the character sheet for some reason.
Weird.
Okay. So, now we will...
Did you change the bio part? Like the name?
Oh-ho.
Then I do.
Oh-ho.
Oh, I figured it out. Here we go.
Is this Thieves' Can? I just don't know it.
Okay. Sorry, bear with
Is
me.
what?
We've got a lot of things to
is
do.
just like Thieves' Can. That's how they go in there. They go, oh.
Have you never met a high elf before? My father was a high elf.
How high was he?
That was what I was going to ask.
Oh. My father was a brilliant man, how dare you?
Savage. No.
Okay. Delmar, you are up first. Just imagine that the ships are right by each other now.
Alright. Oh, like he could hop across?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, he's not gonna do that just yet. You watch as Delmar raises his hand with the glaive up, and he's got that see an enemy druidic focus on his wrist, and you see a small spark of electricity zap off of it, travel up the glaive, and go into the little salt crystal, and the whole thing starts to glow, and a sort of small beam of electricity zaps into the sky, and this storm cloud forms over the neighboring ship, and he's going to call lightning right there.
All right.
And it's going to affect all... It's going to affect all three of these dudes,
Okay.
and they need to make a dexterity save. Actually cast the fucka. Ooh, that's good.
Oof.
That's real good.
Oofty doofty. Yeah.
Dex saves?
Dex saves. DC 16.
Okay.
Half on a miss. I think.
Um.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's just a 1d20. Okay.
You get 25, and you get 25, and you get 25.
Okay, I'm gonna color code these real quick.
Alright.
Good idea.
Red for the color of its pale blood. Blue for the color of my sea. Green for green. And then the one in the back has the color of book.
Yep.
Ah, the most powerful of colors.
So 25. It's a good amount.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Is that it for your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
What is the ocean height on this vessel? Like, how tall is it from the bottom of the top of like the ocean to the top of where I would have to be to get on the boat?
It is a little shorter than the ship you are currently on. So,
Ooh, shorter.
yeah.
So that means I
about-
could probably poke people with the manatee. So I will just jump off the side of the ship, considering I am enchanted by him. I can walk on the water.
Sure.
I begin charging in an angry, shrill voice as a large, dark spot begins lifting up and breaching the water underneath me. I need my token.
Oh, yes, you do.
Where you at,
sure
Hugh?
do.
Where you at, Hugh?
There we go. Oh, he's not as big.
He's not huge. Huge.
Okay, there you go.
Ah, I see.
Also, if you double or right click it and put bring to back, it should fix that it covering yip problem.
Because it was the most recent token added.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I would be like on top of it. See. Ride! Angry
Oh.
sea cow!
He really is a girthy boy.
I'll charge in and I'll poke this one if I can with my 10-foot range.
Okay,
And I will let you see atta!
that is a hit.
Yeah.
Damn. That was a good roll.
Okay,
That's 11 out of 12.
all right.
I'm not done yet. I will do again. Rah!
That is definitely a hit.
Ooh, not good.
Okay,
How does it look after all that?
it still looks fine.
Oh my god. Alright.
I begin moving away now with my hardy sea cow. And coming in for another charge later. That'll be my turn.
Zavrin.
Oh. All right. Let's see here.
Oh, if you're measuring, don't forget that
You are a little bit closer.
yeah, like that 15 feet is 5 feet. Or rather,
Okay, would I be in range to target this guy
Yeah,
with a 30-foot spell?
yes.
All right. I am going to cast Bane on this guy and green and blue.
Okay, you want to macro that for me? Can see it.
So they need to make me DC 17.
sharp
And
as
then is a Charisma, yeah.
Okay.
Grand Turismo. And if they fail, whenever they make an attack or a saving throw, they have to roll a d4, subtract the number.
Okay, which
No.
of the revenants?
Guys, I have a phone call really quick. Sorry.
Green, blue, and spellcasting dude.
Okay.
And I will say, by the gods, you are all so ugly. I bet your fathers regret not pulling out.
Wow.
Oof.
And then necromancer, d20.
It just,
Oh.
Oh well.
Hell yeah!
Gained one of them.
Okay.
That's probably Big Lad because the other two are the same.
And with my bonus action, I will look down to the fearless leader, Captain Yip, and I will say, "Oh, Captain Yip, the best revenge is massive success." And I inspire you.
I feel inspired!
That's it for me.
Okay. So, the necromancer, he's not happy with you, Zavrin. He... Sorry, I'm reading things.
It's alright.
So it was minus d4 from an attack roll.
Attack rolls and saving throws. You have a minus d4.
Okay, he's going to cast a Ray of Enfeeblement at you. Oh. Hold on. What is Necromancer's casting ability? Is it intelligence?
It should say on the stat block. It should be... all the spellcasting stuff is under traits. If it's a normal spell block. I mean, stat block.
Okay. Ranged spell attack. Okay, here we go. And then... So... 22.
Oh. Wait.
Even with
No.
pain.
No. I
That was
refuse.
Reaction.
I will use my reaction. Oh.
Adam.
I'm back.
You think you are casting feeble mind, but I doubt it would work. Oh. So that gets reduced by 8. So I
God,
think this still
math.
hits, actually.
22, 14.
14.
Just hits.
Oh.
Fuck.
Almost.
Alright. So that is his turn.
Did you cue the spell?
I don't think it does damage. It just enfeebles you.
Okay.
You only deal half damage with weapon attacks that use strength. No.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Delmar, hold me.
it is this Revenant's turn, and he is going to... He's got 30 feet. He's going to hop over to the ship. I wish that this was properly... So, 5, 10...
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I get you. They're next to side by side.
They're
in reality.
adjacent.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that is.
Where's he going?
I think that's about as far as he can go, and he's headed up towards you guys.
Okay.
Because Francis at this point has gone below deck.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're truncating it so that they're like lined up and adjacent, not just adjacent. Because I was assuming that these like points here were just closer together.
Oh no! Like this part of the ship is probably right about here
Got
at
it,
this
okay.
point.
All right.
Um.
Comprehend.
Okay, and that's it for that one's turn. This one is a little closer to you guys and is gonna make it over here and make 2 fist attacks at Immel. Oh,
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh no.
okay. I wish that it didn't do it like that. How does it?
Click the word attack next to 27, and it'll cue the damage.
Oh, you are amazing.
Oof.
And then he'll make another one.
Oh my god.
She is going to use her evasion.
Okay. I have no idea what that does.
Oh, that's for dexterity saving throws.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the rogue thing where you get.
Oh, okay, wrong. Yeah. Yeah,
Would be
I'm thinking of
uncanny dodge.
Yeah.
It's good to know you have evasion.
Oh, there it is. I'm going to use... Oh, no, I can't use that. I'm mixing the two. It's okay.
Okay, so what does Uncanny Dodge do?
Well, she doesn't. Wait, do you have uncanny dodge?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be level 5 rogue to do that.
Oh.
Oof.
It's a good thing she has like 80 hit points.
You thick as well.
Alright, so this one is going to hop on the deck. And about all he can do. Immel.
Okay, so our good friend Emil is going to
Hit him back.
hit him back. So she's going to actually hit them, and then she's going to use her flurry of blows. And then he needs to make...
We gotta hit first.
That hits.
Are they just wearing leather armor?
Yep.
Or scale mail, I guess.
So he also needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Whoa, hang on. Keep going with the turn.
What's your DC?
For Dex, what is my DC for Dex?
It's wisdom based. What's your wisdom?
My
Plus
wisdom
eight
is
proficiency.
my wisdom is 16 plus 3, so 19.
So that means plus 7 to 15. It's a DC 15.
Alright, he just makes it. And that does hit, the 14.
And she's gonna hit him again.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okey-dokey.
say only once per turn, so you can do it with every time you hit.
That
So
hit.
yeah, and she's gonna go ahead and try the open hand technique again.
Okay.
Right? Am I reading? Yeah.
That's how I understand it. Use a key point, and then it pretty much charges all your hits with that ability.
Yeah.
Okay, he's prone.
He is not prone. She is pushing him 15 feet off the boat.
Oh.
Spleesh.
He sinks below the water.
Is there... the boats are adjacent, but is there like a gap, I'm guessing?
Yes, he knocks his head against the side of the ship and then sinks
Right.
into the water.
I can just sort of see, like, you know, he staggers back, and then he slips, and then, like, the edge of the opposite ship, like, he bangs his back into it and then slips into the drink.
Yep. Alright.
Does he seem able to swim?
We'll find out.
Alright, so this Revenant makes it over here with his buddies. Yeah. I think it's about as far as he can go. Delmar.
Okay, so they're underneath the sails, basically, right?
Yes.
So if I call lightning right on the red guy, how would you rule that? As Delmar is sort of looking at the storm cloud that's above.
You're gonna light the sails on fire.
Light the sails on fire. Okay. Then I'm just going to charge him. So
Alright.
he comes up over here, and he's going to Hail Mary on the green guy. Actually, he can be right here and Hail Mary on the green guy. So... Wait. Okay. Yeah. Ouch. He trips a little bit, loses some time, but goes for another one. Wow.
Oh,
Alright.
that sucks.
He, something I don't know what happens. He, loses his footing, and, he kind of stumbles next to Imel. The lightning that was in the salt crystal, like, flashes and it blinds him. There we go. Turn over. Oh, and, he's going to buffer, he's going to, buffer Imel a little bit with a healing word bonus action.
Okay.
6. There you go.
Alright, yep.
Turn over.
I see that this one has fallen into
Thank
the
you.
water, and I begin charging it.
I play my drum while he approaches.
So I'm actually gonna have the sea manatee attack first because
Okay.
it has an opportunity. And I want to see it flop impotently against it. I think it has a +3. Let me check. Sea manatee. That's the thing. All right, so it's +5 to hit. Not bad. Damage is very good. But anyway, I can flap it. So roll 1d20 +5 for Hugh. It is a 9 hit.
Nope. Sure
So he
doesn't.
kind of just chunguses up against him and just begins flapping impotently against the armor. And while he's doing that, I'm on like the very back of him, stabbing down into its head.
Okay.
Now, because he is larger than them, and because he's there, I will have advantage.
Okay.
Both things give me advantage. So I will roll a lance attack. 24
That
hit.
hits.
Alright. Yeah!
Okay.
How's he looking now?
He's got like missing chunks of flesh, but he still looks like he's pretty hardy.
I want to kill him now! Alright. And I
That
will
hits.
smite on this bad boy. I'm
Okay.
gonna roll 2. So let's roll this first. And then I will drop one of these things. And we'll do 16 radiant.
All right. He is missing like an entire arm, and while he was struggling in the water, now he's like completely, almost under the water. Like he can't keep himself afloat.
Alright, and based on the distance, I should have about 10 more feet of a sea cow movement, so I will move back.
Okay.
You may take an attack of opportunity, but it's against me, not my mount.
And he won't do that. He's flailing wildly in the water, and he tries to scrape at you. And he misses.
Fool! You cannot hit me! That'll be my turn.
Zavrin.
I'm getting a caster versus caster vibe, and I dig it.
Alright, so I'm gonna maintain concentration on that, but I'm going to whisper sweetly to this spellbook man,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to say to him, somewhere there is a village that you're depriving of its idiots.
That roll.
That's
Alright.
pretty bad.
Oh. He looks not well. You can't really tell because he's hooded, but you hear like a "Rrr" from him.
Does the Bane do any difference?
Did he fail?
Yeah, he failed.
Okay, well, he has to use his reaction to run away as far away from me as his speed allows.
Okay, so since the ships
I'll
are
do this
right
for you.
by each other,
There's the spell call.
alright, he's gonna move over here since the ships are right by each other. And
And I will use some of my movement to follow the sword. And that will be it for me.
okie dokie. It is the necromancer's turn now. And he is going to he's going to move a little bit closer to the side of the deck. And he is going to cast Blight
Whoa.
on Delmar.
Oh shit. Alright. That's a con save. I'm gonna look at several con saves, actually. What's the DC?
You have +4 on it, I think. What's my charisma?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you have +4 on your save.
Cool.
I moved back for a reason.
What's the DC? Well, I'll just roll. Yeah. Ooh.
13 does not sound like a save.
That dream fucked him up.
Yeah, it
Yep.
did.
So you take you take 35 necrotic damage.
Right.
Actually.
Ouch!
That's blight for you. Ha! And, so let's see. What's 35 divided by 2?
17?
17.5.
So that's my DC for this concentration. Oh, well.
Nice.
Of course. Wait, why am I proficient? Oh, shit, I'm a fighter. Wait a minute. God damn it, I hit Constitution the thing. Okay, so +4, plus another 4. Wait, 13. What was the DC?
17.
Then I met it.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Oh, for Blight?
for blight.
He rolled Constitution check, not save, so he didn't add his proficiency.
So
Oh.
my save was actually 17. What was
Okay.
the spell save?
Then 14.
Oh, then I saved, so I only took half.
Yes.
What's half of 35 again? 17? Plus 17.
Yep.
17. Ho, ho.
Alright,
Imagine.
I'm good.
Hold on, just
Wait. Green DM whose first combat encounters are for level 10s.
Yeah.
Impressive. And
Bold.
and there's a word I'm trying to think of that's like. Let's give her some time.
So that was a 4th level spell. So he get 12 HP back.
Damn. Oh boy. We're dealing with something here.
I think we killed that thing first.
Yeah, Delmar's not happy about that incident.
I can make all of these things go away for a little bit if you guys want to focus on him.
Might not be a bad
All right.
idea.
Get
So
on.
I
it's-
was just going to push him off the boat.
We gotta get that
The
first.
Pink Revenant's turn. And he gets up here around his friends and makes 2 fist attacks against Delmar.
Alright. Miss. Hit. 7 bludgeoning. Alright.
And that is his turn. This guy falls beneath the surface of the water, and you don't really have to worry about him. You can see him like
Struggling.
trying. Yeah,
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. He's just gonna walk across the ocean floor.
Yeah.
basically. So we can remove him from here. So now it is Red Revenant's turn. And he's going to get up here to Zavrin. And make 2 fist attacks. Oh, and also regain 10 hit points.
What was the trajectory of his movement? Like he went like that?
Yes.
You should be able to poke him.
I think I can
Yeah.
poke him. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna take an opportunity attack.
Okie dokie.
Poke me if you'd like.
That
27.
hits.
And I'm going to gonna add a goading attack onto that, so let me do that. So that's 12 damage, or sorry, 11 damage, and then I'm gonna attack on a superiority die. So that's
He needs to make a wisdom save.
and yeah, the wisdom save. My DC is 16, I'm pretty sure. He fails.
He misses.
Where do you think you're going?
So now he has disadvantage on all attacks, other than onto him.
Let me disadvantage. 11.
Miss.
You fool,
I
I'm-
gracefully dodge out of the way.
You fool,
Miss.
I'm
I
here.
gracefully dodge the other way.
I'm standing right here.
Oh!
Oh god.
Alright, Emma.
So Emma's going to aim first for Pinky here.
Okay.
And she'll be using a key point to use the open hand technique.
Okie dokie. That hits.
He needs to make a
Okay.
saving throw.
Those decks, right?
A DC 15 dex save.
Yep.
Is it a strength for the pushy one?
Oh, it is strength for the pushy one, you're right.
A DC 15 strength.
Oh, okay. Well, he
Hit
I
him
mean,
again.
you
She just hits him again.
okay. That hits.
He needs to make another strength save.
Alright. And he's pushed 15 feet away.
Yes, he is.
Alright, right into the water with him. And he splashes and flounders a bit. Alright. Is
Okay,
that
she's
it?
going to aim for the guy next to him with her last hit.
Alright.
Does
that
she
hit?
Need to advance upon him.
Yes, I'll advance on him, sorry. And he needs to make the strength save.
Oh my god. Okay.
And he goes into the water. Bye-bye!
They are all in the water. Well, except for red guy over here. Okay. So that guy struggles in the water. I don't do you think undead float?
That's their call.
It's really dependent on whether or not they have big old thick armor.
They have bloaty.
They do have leather armor on. So this guy, he struggles a bit before slipping under the surface of the water.
I mean,
Delmar.
All right. I still have concentration on lightning, but okay, so I need to figure out. So if I leave the ship here, I'll end up here, right?
You'll end up where? Sorry. Yes, you will.
Okay. Then he's going to hop on. Well, probably not a good idea. Okay, he's going to go over this way so that we can do our little space warp here. And from here, do I have reach on him with my glaive?
Yes.
Okay. Well, before I actually go upon him, I'm going to use another action for Call Lightning and give him a zappy zap.
Okay, that was a dex save.
It sure is. 19, not bad.
Oh, no, he sure doesn't make it. Okay.
That's a 19 lightning. And then he pulls out his, he's had his glaive on the entire time, or he's had his glaive drawn the entire time. He just points it at him, ready for whatever comes next. Turn. Oh, I'm going to second wind, and that'll be my turn. Ooh,
Yep.
nice.
Seeing this one go into the water, it makes me believe that my subordinates have this, so I will charge full steam at this necromancer. And I will strike at him with my lance. Let's see. I shouldn't have advantage for any ring. Is it within 5 feet for the thing? Let me check. Mounted combatant, if it's within... Nope, smaller than, so I can actually do it right now. Yeah, so I have advantage against him. 27 hit.
That hits.
Let's bust out one of these.
Yeah! Don't forget about the undeadness.
Yeah, that's what the second die is, the 5.
Ah, cool.
So that's 35 damage, 25 of it is radiant.
He looks bloodied.
He needs to roll concentration for enfeeblement. Actually, he needs to make 2 of those. Is he concentrating on Ray of Enfeeblement?
I'm gonna say no. Not anymore.
Okay.
Well, I have 2 of these, so I will strike again! Hurrah!
No, that's a hit.
And we're going to use the resources, so we're going to do that again.
Okay.
So that's
Paladin
another
Holy
32 damage.
It looks like he's on
13
death's
radiant.
door.
And I will stay there using my immense, strong body, very masculinely blocking the way of everybody else and getting as much aggro as I can. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Zavran.
Alright, I am going to... I strum my lute at this undead creature in front of me. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheree, you smell like pee.
Not where I thought that was going.
Okay. Alright, he takes half of that?
Yeah.
That's a red guy. Alrighty.
And that will be it for me.
Okay. This necromancer, he's not happy that you just stabbed him a bunch of times yet.
I thought as much.
He is going to cast Cloud Kill,
Oh, fuck.
He may try.
centered on you and Hugh.
I'm gonna probably take some of that, too.
It's a 20-foot... Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
20 foot is
you
like
are.
center. We're between the ships, and that was like the breaching point. It should get him, and I think it's just away from her if I'm the center point.
yeah,
that's what I was
Imal is
wondering.
safe.
Yeah, I think you're safe.
So,
Exactly.
Delmar, Hugh, and Yip need to make Constitution saving throws.
Alright, let's
Am I
see.
adjacent enough to you?
Yeah,
You
you should be.
Okay.
10.
On save. Ah. Cool, plus 4. 24.
Use +1.
You also benefit from your own aura.
Yes, I do.
Also, if you haven't used the Bardic Inspiration, you still have one.
I do know that. Oh wow, Hugh just rolled it up, and then for me,
Thank
I'm
God.
gonna have to use that inspiration.
It's a
Well, actually,
D10,
no,
so.
17. I should go with
You
17.
saved.
I think I'll save it. I was thinking I'll save it for the 17. So I'll just say, yeah, 17's my roll with my aura.
Okie dokie.
Still a lot of damage.
Okay, I have to fix these macros. And this music just changed.
Very trancey music.
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to, like
If you want to start up number 8,
Alright. Get right on that.
let me see if I figured this out right. Okay, there we go. So you take half of 22, so you take 11 damage, and the area is heavily obscured. Answer.
It's heavily obscured, okay.
Heals for 15.
Watch. You said we take 11, right?
Yes. Okay, this...
Just do the spell manually. Ooh, I know what
This
I can
revenant blubbers a little before falling beneath the surface of the ocean.
Monk environmental kills. Fancy stuff.
Okay. And how long does the goading attack last?
It's over.
Okay.
Till the end of my next
So-
turn, so it's over.
This revenant is going to attack Zavarin again.
Miss! I will cutting words that!
Okay.
That's
What will I
17.
say to this cur? Unhand me, cur! That is a miss.
Okay. Emma.
Emil, seeing Zavern in trouble, runs at this gentleman that's in front of Zavern and makes an unarmed attack.
Okay.
And She is also going to use her open hand technique and shove at him, so he goes.
Okay. It's a strength saving throw?
Yes, it is.
Well, he's in the water too. Alright.
Okay. She stands by her friend and she says, "Are you okay, Zavrin?"
I will flutter myself with my hands like, oh, just a little wet.
Alright, Delmar. Constitution save.
Okay. Con save. Yeah. With the +4 from my buddy.
Do I re-roll the damage, or is it just the same as the...
Reroll it every time.
Yeah, you reroll it every time.
So half of 22? Or
Yep.
23, so 11.
Alright. So
Let me look at the wording of the... He heals another 15.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to cast Gust of Wind to blow away this cloud. Let me key it. Using the Triton ability. So 60 feet long, 10 feet wide, blast direction you choose, blah. So I'm blasting it right at him and clearing, trying to clear a path with what we're dealing with here between him and Yip. And then
Okay.
Huh?
Oh, I just said okay.
And then
He
I'm
needs to
gonna-
make a strength save?
on his turn he will.
Oh,
On
okay.
his turn he will. But for now, I'm going to action surge. I'm going to attack. So I
Okay.
lose concentration on Call Lightning. That's okay. So I'm going to action surge and attack. And I swing Storm Beacon down upon him. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy.
And that much.
Get some.
And in addition, we're gonna put on some superiority, and we're gonna do distracting strike. Oh wait, do I even have to do that? Do you have advantage already because you're on your mount? Yep.
What?
Do you have advantage already because you're on your mount?
Yes, I am, because it's bigger than him. Because
Okay.
he's a tubby lad.
Then I can. I don't really have anything I need to do. Well then I'll just do goading attack. Why not? Doesn't really matter. So there's the key, and then the 2 superiority die rolls. So that much damage. And then oh yeah, I have another attack. Yeah. 17 hit.
Yes.
Alright. For 15 slashing, 3 radiant lightning.
Okay.
Counts as both. And yeah, we're gonna add another superiority. Oh wait, no. No, yeah, I'm gonna keep it. All right, turn over.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
So the cloud is off of me.
Yes. The cloud is dispersed.
But I'm very upset that he hurt Hugh, so I am going to just aim my lance directly, try to stab him through the spell book, like right into the heart. 26 hit?
You kill him.
Yeah. Leader, finish the fight.
I just kind of want to like pick him up and kind of like lift him up just slightly, and he'll slide on the end of my lance.
Oh, he sure does, but you don't expect how heavy he is if he lands on top of you.
Yes.
Oh, we're still in Inish.
Is there still this dude?
Oh, no. He's gone too.
Yeah.
That they're all dead.
Oh, we're still in initiative.
No.
I dive in and I help slough him off.
I roll over on top of him and I begin just like kind of stomping on his chest, just making sure I got him.
He'd be sinking.
It
into
makes
the-
a sickening squelch sound each time you stomp on him. Are you doing this on top of Hugh? Because Hugh might not
Absolutely.
be. Hugh's not happy with this. He makes like this weird, like pitiful sound.
Fine. I grab him and I like make like a stick, like a puppet out of him with my lance. And I begin trying to push him onto the ship so everyone can look at this dude. Try to get his body onto our ship.
Okay. And
Then
he
I
flops
clamber
over.
onto the other one. Does the ship have like a name, like painted on the side?
No, it sure doesn't. And it is an old, like decrepit ship, and you have no idea how it is still seaworthy. And it starts to, as soon as the necromancer dies, it starts to like crumble.
I jump back onto
Dear
the
DM,
humanity.
Yes.
in my travels and my studies, have I heard of any stories of ghost ships haunting the seas?
You have heard of ghost ships, but you know, it's not. It seems to be only affecting Marianne's fleet and not anybody else's. Nobody else seems to have a problem with it.
Oh.
Emil goes and kind of inspects this guy.
Do we bring him back onto our ship? I guess so.
Yeah, I had him stabbed. He landed on top of me. I crunched him on Hugh. He was all sad and pitiful, so I stabbed him upwards onto our ship. Almost like, you know how you squeegee a window? So there's probably like a nice blackish blood trail on the side of the ship where I like kind of forced him upwards.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I don't have to clean that.
And then I
Okay.
just kind of...
So Emil is investigating. Does she see anything worth noting about this gentleman?
Not really. You pull his cloak back, and the cloak is like tattery, and his regular clothes are tattery, and he looked like sickly and malnourished. And he's got like hollows under his eyes, and he looks got brown hair. He looks older, in his 40s. And he just looks like a sad old man. Not old, but
I was gonna say, can we stop beating up on 40-year-olds?
I didn't mean it.
I'm kidding.
He looks older than his age.
Is this spell book with him?
It is pierced right through. But
It's soaked.
yeah.
Where do undead go when they die? They don't go to heaven with.
Oh, Jesus.
And Frances comes up and as she hears the fighting subsiding, and she says, "Well, you've done what we couldn't in the last decade."
Yes, we are very skilled. Especially
I
this
heard
one
they
that
liked
kind of slapped
swimming.
Emil's calf.
Oh, you're too kind to me, dear fearless leader.
You were very effective. I did not know that dead bodies sunk so quickly.
Neither did I.
Yes, you have very forceful hands.
I'm very good with my hands.
Oh.
And she Frances looks at his face and kind of shakes her head.
Miss Frances. Captain Frances.
And she turns and looks up at you.
I have heard many a tale of these ghost ships out here on the wide, deep, vast ocean seas. But I've never heard of any targeting. Did you or your patron piss off someone?
Well, not to my knowledge. It might be something to ask Marianne about.
Does the
We will.
not 40-year-old man have any iconography or anything on him that could identify him?
Nope. Just a spell book.
Can we see anything on the binding?
It's got some like arcane sigils on it, and the name Jeremy.
Oh, may I attempt to read those sigils?
Please
Why
do.
are you asking?
Oh,
Make
it's
an
hard to
arcana check.
stop character voice. Oh, this looks like it's a cookbook of some sort.
Really? A cookbook for undead?
Roll the one.
Yes, I believe that sigil there says Eye of Newt.
Ooh, Eye of Newt is a powerful item, I believe. Yes. So, do we need to prepare our undead forces? Can we bake them?
I'm not eating anything that comes back to life.
Don't think you're
Undead are
supposed
so
to eat them.
disgusting. Oh. I'm going to have nightmares for weeks.
Francis orders a couple of deckhands to take the body below the deck.
Just be careful he doesn't come back up.
I think you guys took care of that.
His ribs are very cracked, yes.
Elmar lets out a yawn, but he still looks out to the ocean with concern on his brow.
Yeah, it's you can see that the sky is starting to get light, but it's very early morning.
I place a hand on Delmar's shoulder and squeeze slightly. Oh, she is vast, deep, and mysterious.
Well, that she is. Another mystery is surfacing. And he looks to Zervin.
I hold my
Oh.
lance at the water, thinking that another ship is showing up. Hey, where is it?
He says, no, I'm speaking metaphorically.
Slowly, get back into a standing position, very regally say, well, you have done well today, all of you. I am going to my study. I think that's what it's called. And I begin walking off awkwardly down the stairs.
Oh, such a brave man.
I think I will take my leave and try to get some rest.
As well. I'm going to get some more shut-eye.
As soon as I close the door to my cabin, I begin hyperventilating when I start thinking about the poison cloud.
As Emma walks by her door and hears the hyperventilating, she kind
I
of
was gonna
knocks
say,
on the
can
door
I-
and says,
Yeah.
"Everything okay? Yep."
Yes, I'm fine. Yes, fine. Just I thought I'd do a workout and just, push-ups. Yes, push-ups in honor. And
Oh,
I begin doing
It's fine, Captain.
Would you-
Everyone
Hey.
pleasures themselves.
Would you like to
yes,
spend the
push-ups are
night?
very pleasurable. Yes, the push-ups are very good. They're going well.
It was a very, very
Would
stressful
you like a hand?
experience.
You would defy the purpose of the push-up.
Oh my god. That's the purpose of the push-up. Alright.
Emma offers, well, if you need company to sleep with tonight, you may come to my room.
Why would that benefit me?
So that you're not, so that I'm not alone and scared.
Oh, then yes, I will defend your. I don't know if you sleep. Do you do the thing with the trance?
I do the sleep.
Oh, then I can be watch. Yes.
Oh, my door is always open, as well as other things.
I believe there's only a door. Do not open the window on the ship.
Keep your pants on.
Delmar's chuckling as he walks to his room, goes inside and starts doffing his armor, and gets like halfway done before he falls asleep.
I kind of sleep in my armor. It's so big on me that I kind of like almost like slink into a little ball in the chest area.
That is adorable.
I just kind of like doggy roll, just
Turtle up.
Yeah.
Emil just hits the bed and just sprawls out with her legs hanging over because she's so tired.
Alright, well, you guys get well-earned sleep. And it's not disturbed by anything. You guys wake up a little bit later. You're fully rested.
Fully rested.
And you come up to the deck of the ship. And we'll go back to the map. You guys are about halfway. And Frances is at the helm, steering the ship, and she says, "Well, good morning."
Good morning.
And you can tell that it's about noon.
Any disturbances while we slept?
No, there wasn't.
Is Hobbs prepared something delicious? I'm very hungry.
He sure has. And he requested you guys to have lunch for him. Lunch with him.
Oh, you know, the worst thing about traveling on the sea, I don't know how you do this all the time. My hair is just a nightmare.
Hair is very inefficient. You should probably shave it.
Would you like me to braid it for you?
Oh. That would be nice.
Emil goes over and plaits Zavrin's hair in a beautiful mermaid braid.
Aw, it is gorgeous.
That takes
You
some-
feel like a pretty princess, Savrin.
as she's braiding. Delmar says, "My friends, I had a dream last night before our encounter with the Ghostship.
Oh, so it wasn't just me.
Perhaps not. What I experienced was a bit of supplement to what we saw at the tower. The beautiful blue-skinned woman. She was attacked by the merfolk that attacked the tower. She fended them off after taking some blows. Then she jumped into the sea and retreated to wherever that mine was with the dark dwarves, who accepted her with open arms. And then when I woke up, I saw the mist and the boat coming for us."
You also had
know-
this dream, Zavrin?
Yes, my dream was very similar. There was beautiful blue skin and open embrace. The wind blowing through her hair. Sweet smell of the sea.
I only dreamt of Dulcelarta, laying my head on her round giant thumb. What is so funny?
I'm laughing out of character.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds like it was a beautiful dream.
It was
You're a
very
very
comfortable.
lucky man.
Yes, one day I will be.
Oh, yes.
Delmar sits down at the table where we're taking lunch with... What was the cook's name?
Hobbs.
Hobbs, okay.
Oh, Hob? Oh, I heard Hobbs.
Hobbs? Plural?
Hob.
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 Sits down at the small table in the galley? Are we in the galley?
It's like a cafeteria. There's
So the galley.
yeah.
That's a galley on a ship.
And he looks at Hob and he starts to partake in whatever he is.
Oh, he smiles at you guys and he says, "Well, today is my birthday, and I thought I'd make you guys something special." And
You're a kind man.
He sets down in front of you guys the foulest, most awful looking food you've ever seen in your life. And he says, "I thought I would try something new. Tell me what you think about it."
In Kobold, this is called par, so I begin eating it.
Delmar looks down at it, looks up at Hob. He looks over at...
I'm not hungry?
He looks over at Zavrin. Actually, no, he takes a bite, and what's it taste like?
Disgusting. It tastes like bile. It's so gross.
You know, Zavrin, this might pair well with the wine.
Oh, yes, I take out the bottle of wine. Oh, sorry, Hobbs, as I do graciously approve of this, and I almost believe that on your birthday we should be doing something for you, but I cannot eat this. I'm a vegan.
I grab his bowl and I slide it under me, and I begin eating it as well.
Emil just eats it politely.
Delmar
I
tries to choke down
only
another
eat
bite.
vegetables. I'm sorry.
I begin eating it like a bird, like kind of pouring it in my mouth into like the back head.
He smiles as he sees you guys eating and says, "I'm glad you like it." And he goes back to the kitchen.
I'm just so sorry that I have a weak stomach on the sea. Would you like mine, Yip?
Yes, very good.
Yep, you can have my leftover.
I just pull them all in like they're chips in a poker game and just begin to
And he looks at Zavrin and he says, "Open the wine. Please open the wine."
Quickly.
Yes. Oh.
like 10 minutes later, there's just giant distended belly.
Almost like disallowed.
Yep. Your tummy looks very much like you describe your dear love.
No, this is only for now. Do salata. She's so much thicker. A healthy woman.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
Oh. All right.
Retreat back to the top of the ship.
I do not move for a long while.
I tie a rope onto the side, and Delmar, he lets the rope dangle off the side, and he jumps into the water, just a perfect swan dive, and then just kind of like rinses his mouth out with the seawater.
While you're down there, Delmar, grab a big fish. Maybe we can rectify this situation.
Francis laughs and walks up to you guys and says, "It's that bad, huh?"
Can I do that? Is there? I mean, if there are any fish around, can he locate? That would make sense if it was a high DC. I just want to know.
Yeah, make a nature check.
Nature check. All right. HR is not good, but I rolled okay.
You know that around in these waters, there's only like sharks and the fish that attach themselves to sharks.
Shark is delicious.
I don't think there's anything nearby though, huh?
Yeah, there's nothing nearby.
You
do know that there's plenty of like bread and standard rations in the galley.
I believe that the shark suckers are called remoras.
He starts crawling out. There are rations above. There are rations above on the ship. Don't need to take more life from the sea than we need.
Um, Captain Yip,
Yes.
are you okay?
I'm fattened and very content, but I am not wanting to move.
Please allow me to do something. I'm just going to touch your stomach. I'm a little worried.
Be very gentle.
I will gently caress his stomach
No.
and cast Less Restoration to remove poison.
You weren't poisoned in the first place, but you do feel a little bit better after that.
It is good tummy rubs, yes. Very nice.
Oh,
I feel like Yip's leg is kind of kicking a little bit.
Just a little bit, just a little twitch, like, hey, hit it.
you see, it's much better with two.
Wait, what?
You know, the pleasure.
I'm confused. What is happening now?
My God.
Well, you were panting so hard in your room, I can only assume you were.
If it weren't you guys, I'd feel very uncomfortable.
I told you before, I was doing push-ups, making sure,
Oh,
physically fit. As I
I
jiggle my giant gut.
say no more, Yip. I also like to do push-ups.
I look
And I
him up
wink
and
at
down.
him.
Does it look like he's physically adept in any way?
Very,
Perhaps should do more. More squats.
very slender, not very muscular at all.
Perhaps he's just you being an elf, but you look very not the type.
Oh, I never.
You never what?
I work out all the time. I especially love going and seeing all the people sweating and perspiring and working and lifting heavy things, putting them down.
Yes. Well, we can perhaps, once we get back to land, do a regiment. I will get you more
Oh,
physically in shape and ready
I
to
have a
fight
better
the warrior.
idea, Captain. You see, my skills are more of a healer or a song player, a merrymaker. Perhaps you should give Delmar a nice routine to strengthen those
You
muscles.
are confused. Delmar is very physically fit. You are, on the other hand, are lacking, as my tongue just continues to undulate.
Yes, me.
But if you wish to retain your slender, light form as it is, you may. But if you wish to join in the push-ups, you can do so.
I will watch.
Not right now, though, because... Yes. I just kind of lean back to my armor.
Alright. Who's on the deck? Up top.
Emma is.
Okay, I want you guys both to make perception check.
My passive perception is 17.
Mine's 18.
Oh, well, you guys see off the side of the ship looks to be a pretty large floating bottle.
Delmar, a bottle.
As I
Should we get it?
see it. He just, without another word, he walks over to the ship where, is this the side where he tied his rope, or is it not?
It is.
He tugs the rope, make sure it's taut, dives in, swims
The
right
bottle
over.
is about the size of you, so you'll need more than one person
Oh my
to
God.
haul it out.
You want to come help me?
Emma comes out, puts on her cloak, pulls up the hood, and jumps in to help.
We push it to the ship.
How are you going to get it on the ship?
Hey, you! Deckhands, help us out!
Do you have a net?
They don't have a net, but they do have ropes that they lower down to you guys.
What's the spout of the bottle look like? Does it have a lip, or is it straight?
It has a lip
Okay.
and a cork on the cork.
going to tie rope so that they can pull it up by the spout.
Okay.
This is a big this is a big piece of glassware, he says.
Sure is. Now you guys, with the help of the deckhands, haul the glass bottle onto the ship.
It is comically large. Do you think they
It
stored
is-
in it?
It's tall, like the body part of the bottle is as tall as you are. So like with the stem,
Jesus.
it's taller than you.
Can we see inside?
Yes. There is a rolled up piece of paper.
Is it a big piece of paper?
Oh yeah, it's huge.
What?
Jesus Christ. Is it from, like, giants?
You
Well,
don't know. You have to find out.
Somebody, hold on and I'll try to get the cork out. And he takes his trident and he jams it into the cork and he's going to try to, like, pull it out.
I mean, you're French. You've been training for this your entire life.
Absolutely.
Well, if not, he can take a swing at the bottle with his trident and break it open.
He's going to try to uncork it. Does he manage to uncork it?
Make a strength check.
Alright. Hold it fast. Straight strength.
Yep.
Dang.
You try and you try. You just can't pull it. You can't pull it out. It is in there.
Emil takes her quarterstaff off her back and she's gonna just try to smash the glass.
Okay, that's easy enough. It's thick glass, but so it takes you a few swings, but you smash it open.
Delmar looks a little disappointed just because he's so amused by this massive piece of glassware. Oh well.
Nah. Do you unroll the
Yeah, one of us
paper?
does.
Absolutely.
Reach for it. I know what.
On the paper, in like giant scrawling text, is a love poem written by a giant, and it says, translated from giant into common.
Do any of us speak giant? Or wait, is it written in giant? I'm confused.
It is written in giant. I was about to tell you the poem, but thanks for catching me.
Comprehend languages, Mr. Bard?
Oh no.
Darn. Alright. Yeah, I don't have
I can do it after a rest.
I don't have giant.
All right, so you see, it's styled like a poem. Like you can tell it's a poem, but you can't read it.
That is a poem.
I can't make heads or tails of it. Well, this is interesting.
Do you like poems, Delmar?
I've heard a few in my travels.
Oh. What kind of poems do you like?
He says, those comedic limericks. I think that's what they are called.
Oh!
They put a smile on my face.
Francis gives you guys a look and says, "Well, I've never seen anything like that before."
It looks like it's made for giants. He doesn't know
I'm
the
inclined to
languages.
agree.
Well, if it's made for giants, I apologize, but I have far too many brain cells to read that.
Well, Delmar rolls it up, and he gestures if anyone wants to hold on to it. And if not...
I will send a message to Yip. Oh, Captain Yip.
Yeah.
We seem to hit an impasse. None of us have the mental faculties or possess the knowledge to read giant. Do you know how to read giant?
Every giant. Ask the crew.
You have no way of learning. I would figure that you, a master of all things, would know all the languages.
Master, I will come look at the thing. I begin.
Do you need someone to come down to carry you?
You begin seeing me like slump my way up the stairs. I'm practically like kind of like dragging myself. Yeah, show me the giant.
I produced the paper.
So
Roll it out like a big old scroll, like I'm about to say, "Hear ye, hear ye."
hear ye, hear ye. So I know Dwarvish. I think they're like similar scripts. So can I get anything out of this? I think that's how that works. I don't know.
It is Dwarvish, and it has. Let's see, I'm reading here. It has roots in common, so you may be able to make out something. I would think.
Maybe like I get it in a 2-year-old version. Good happened. Thing happened. Good.
Well, hang on now. It's a giant's writing, so.
Good happened. Thing. No.
All right, I'm gonna whisper it to you, Miles.
Ooh. That means I get to do a poem in Yip voice. Oh,
Yes, you sure do. How do you whisper?
/W.
Yes.
You speak quietly.
that as well. It'll say at the top of like the chat, and you usually want to say what player you're whispering to.
Oh, that work?
No, we all saw it.
Well, I can perform it anyway.
Oh wait, did I? Wait, maybe. Well, the stream.
You could just,
yeah, I saw
if
it.
you need to,
Yeah, we saw it.
if you need to whisper something, you can just send it over Discord.
Yeah.
I have been here before, but when or how, I cannot tell. I know the grass beyond the door, the sweet, keen smell, the sighting sounds, the lights around the shore. But you have been mine before. How long ago, I may not know. But just when that swallows soar, your neck turned so. Some veil did fall, I knew it all of yore. Has this been us before? And shall not those times eddying flight, still with our lives, our love restore, in death's despite. And day and night yield one delight once more.
No more
Emil claps.
Oh.
Or something like that.
Francis wipes away a tear.
Say Delmo.
Yes.
I have a limerick for you.
Do you?
Oh. Would you like to hear it?
He's gesturing to please proceed.
I once knew an elven wizard who summoned a mighty blizzard. I could only respond with my polymorphing wand, so I turned him into a lizard.
That is adorable.
Yes, because the one turns him into a lizard because it's
Exactly. Yes, you get it, Captain.
I mean, she's the captain. I am done.
Right, you're the captain. You're the commander. Commander Yip.
I like this commander. This is good.
What about Commandant? Commandant Yip.
I am not familiar. Is that higher or lower than commander?
I don't know, but it sounds nice.
It does sound nice.
Anyway, we must find this giant and reunite him with his love.
Is this what it was for?
We have a new quest. We must find the author of this poem, and I must learn all of his secrets.
Well,
The
uniting
parchment
love is...
looks very, very old. You have no idea if the giant is still alive or not.
Yep, this man could hold the secrets for me unlocking the song, the ballad for your dear love.
I begin looking at the giant paper. I'm like, you truly think so?
Oh, I have an inkling. Here, hold this paper and keep it by you at all times.
Just for reference, is this like me holding like a bed sheet essentially? Like, is it just
Yes.
that big for me?
Especially since you are a small creature, it is enormous.
I begin rolling it up and carrying it almost like it's an entire rug.
Yes.
I mean,
I
it can't
will
be much bigger than your lance.
Oh no, it's probably not. In fact, that's what I'll do. I'll kind of like, safely like wrap my lance with it and I'll carry it around.
Okay.
It will be safe with me.
Giant's poem.
Yep.
That's a cool name for a lance for some reason. Delmar returns to the edge of the deck and looks out in the water.
Okay. The rest of the day passes, easily, and you guys actually do make it back to Shanghai.
I will return my sea cow to a tiny, emaciated white horse.
And it's about sunset when you make it back to Shanghai.
We must go find Marianne.
Francis turns to you guys and says, "She'll probably be on her ship right about now, and it should be here in this port. You can't miss it. It's bigger than mine."
Does it have signifying flags?
It's got the same cream and gold sails.
He nods. Thank you very much for taking us on this voyage, Captain Francis.
And she says, "Oh, wait. You should probably take Mr. Dead Guy with you."
You know what they say, Captain Francis. Any port in a storm.
What?
I've heard this expression before, but why? Well, he takes Mr. Dead Guy and just kind of like hefts him. Can we put him in the bag or something? He's very
You can just lay him across Tater Trot. I will ride with him.
Alright.
Perhaps we should put him in a bag or something
That's
so
what-
people don't see a corpse.
That's what I meant. Do you have a burlap sack, Captain?
She looks around on
He's
the
an
deck and then
evil
throws one at
necromancer.
you.
If anyone asks, we tell them that we are doing good.
Well, sure, but we don't want to ruin anyone's day.
Well, sure, but what if we see a good necromancer and he's offended?
There are no good necromancers.
Have you ever met any other necromancer?
No, I'm working with this one and I'm seeing a pattern already.
Wait, you're working with a necromancer?
I'm working under the principles of how I've interacted with this one, and I kind of kick his body.
As they are talking, Dunmore looks at Captain Francis' burlap sack. Like, he kind of like, as they're arguing, he's like, okay, do you have a sack?
Yeah, she looks around at the deck and then throws one at you. It looks like it's about big enough to put him in it, or you could lay it on top of him, or...
By the time they get back with the sack, I'll be like yelling, Kurt and Alex will never respect you if you do such things, if you hide your glory from others.
And
Home?
this is not hiding glory, it is, oh man, my accent's all over the place. This is not hiding glory, this is just, being courteous. Emil, can you hold this open?
Yes, yep. Think of the children. What will they say?
They will say, I wish to be like that kobold. He is strong and can kill necromancers.
You don't want to scare the women, do you?
They point. The inferior sex. They could. Alright, fine. Pose the body.
He puts the body into the sack as Emil holds the sack, and then he takes the sack.
Okay.
He hefts it over
You're
his
lucky
shoulder.
I have a soft heart.
You are a kind and generous
Thank you.
leader.
I believe everyone has a soft heart.
Delmar looks at his companions, and he looks at the captain, gives her a friendly and curt at the same time nod, and he starts going down the plank onto the port.
Oh, Captain, my captain. I reach for her hand.
She smacks you.
Oh. It was a pleasure.
She grabs your forearm and pulls you in for a hug.
Oh.
And she says, "Oh, we'll meet again."
Oh.
It will be our pleasure. Thank you for the ride, Captain Francis.
I reach for the hand as well. Very quickly.
That's what we should call our company. Our pleasure.
You're saying our group should be called our pleasure?
Well, Captain, you are the one leading the charge with your push-ups.
Looks
I
like
could
it
see-
looks like Delmar was about to say something, and then he just kind of like, and he keeps walking.
Just like
He
that,
has a-
holds the
but he
finger
has-
up.
no, he has a smile on his face, and as soon as Zavarin mentions the push-ups, the quote-unquote push-ups, he kind of just, I guess not, and he starts walking.
I give a long look to Zebra and I say, Emil, do you think this is a good name?
I tilt my head and smile at you.
I was going
Emil
to.
just looks at Yip and grabs up the body and throws it on the back of Tater.
Oh, I already have it.
Oh, do you?
I have it on my shoulder like Santa.
Oh, okay.
And he looks over and,
Emil just looks at Yip and just starts following Delmar.
you know, I was going to call it. I had a suggestion of calling it Your Pleasure, but then you said what you said, Zavarin. Step.
Oh.
My name will be known regardless of what our group is called. I allow you to call
Commander
us...
Yip of our pleasure.
He does have a good ring. I
I'll
will consider this.
Don Yip of the Pleasure Band.
Oh, I like that.
I'm looking for the. Oh crap! Forgot her name. Why did I forget her name?
Marianne.
Marianne Ship.
All right, it takes you a couple minutes because unlike the map shows, it's a large port. But you can see you find her ship, and it looks like you thought Francis's ship was fancy. Marianne's ship is like decked out. It is enormous, and the sails are huge, and there's tons of them. And it is gorgeous.
He gets close and is there a gangplank leading up to the ship from the pier or?
There is, but there is a couple of thug-looking guys at the top of the gangplank.
Permission to come
staring at
aboard.
you. And they say, "Who do you think you are?"
We are the fine folk that Marianne hired on for an excursion.
They turn to each other and whisper something, and then one of them goes below deck. The other one says, "Wait here." And then it takes a couple minutes, but
I finger my braid and I look at the party and I say, Oh, aren't they scrumptious?
What makes someone scrumptious?
Who's scrumptious? The guards?
Oh, so much for you to learn.
Emil just takes a deep sigh.
It takes a couple minutes for the other thug to come back, but then he waves you guys forward.
Delmar starts heading up to the ship.
We get trotting up the gangplank.
Emil leans into Zavarin and she says, Delmar would look great with the braid too.
I know. We should do it.
Tonight.
The thug that originally went below deck leads you to the captain's quarters, and you enter the captain's quarters, and it is lavish. Like, there's velvet draperies on like the back windows, a giant like mahogany, really really fancy desk,
Mahogany.
and Marion is sitting. She's got her coat draped over the back of her chair, and she's sitting there writing on parchment. When you guys come in, she sets her quill down and looks up at you.
Marianne, how are you
My
this afternoon?
fearless heroes, you're back.
Oh, this place is beautiful. Finally, someone with some class.
Well, thank you. I worked hard for it.
Has Francis reported our victories to you?
No, she sure hasn't. Tell me about your adventure.
Well, at first, wasn't much going on. We had a simple attack from sea sirens, and then in the tower that you directed us to, we came across no such fight. We found lots of gold strewn about in what appeared to be the remains of a great battle. Inside the tower, it appeared that some force came in and slew everyone inside. When we made it to the top, we found a sort of sanctum with a bowl of water that was warmer than it ought to have been, and beautiful sea glass. Does anyone have any of that sea glass?
I stash some sea glass away, so I pull out one of the little nuggets and I hand it to him.
She
Puts it on the desk.
She like straightens up and grabs the sea glass and inspects it and says, "This sea glass is bigger than any I've ever seen."
There's a whole lot of it at the tower. Additionally, we had a vision that seemed to have been a result or originated from that bowl. And he starts to describe the details that they saw in the vision.
And as Delmar describes it, her face gets pensive and darker.
We went back to the ship after we did all we could. And we went back on the ship. We moved away from the tower slightly. We went to take our night's rest. And then I had a dream. I had a dream that sort of added more detail. And he starts to go into the details of the dream and how they kind of add to the information.
She kind of gets this look of like recognition whenever you mention the Dark Dwarves and the mine. And she says, I think I might know where that mine is.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There could be treasures galore there.
There's an old mine on the island called Baral. And that's where I was sending my ships to before they never came back.
He nods and he says, "There's one more thing. and he says, when we took after the dream, I awoken, and outside the ship I saw a glowing green fog. I donned my armor and I went to the I went to the top of the deck, and Captain Francis informed us when we all roused the crew. We encountered a ship that had been plaguing you for a few years now.
She gets this really sad look on her face, and she says, "Jeremy."
Who? Oh, wait a minute. Well, and he says, we slew everyone
Yes.
aboard.
Jeremy is dead. And I kick the sack. Bring his corpse in your honor.
He starts to unfurl the sack to, like, pop his face out.
She looks at his face, and she has this very sorrowful look on hers.
Did you know him?
He was the child of one of my old crew members.
A
Who,
traitor, no doubt. No?
I sent them on a it was a long time ago, but his parents both perished, and I sent them on a mission when I was just a new admiral. And it was not my finest moment. He swore vengeance on me, and I guess he finally got what was coming to him.
The world is full of regrettable moments.
She like covers his face back up.
Do you want his body?
No.
Alright.
Why would she want the body?
To perhaps bury it, or however she sees fit. That is all. We'll dispose of it.
Well, I thank you for that. Let's talk about the treasure that you guys found at the tower.
I gesture to... Yep.
No,
Don,
I go
yep.
Francis. I guess I begin putting out plates and cups and various forks and stuff and just make a golden, table where her surface is.
Her face lights up as soon as she sees the gold, and she's like, "That's what I'm talking about. You
Yes.
guys did wonderful."
Treasure for the treasure hunters.
She kind of takes a stock of everything. She looks at it, judges what it's worth, and then she goes over to her sleeping area and procures like a lockbox, and pulls out 4 sacks of gold and says, "Here you go. This is 100 gold pieces each. Your cut of the treasure, plus 40 gold each for how long you were at sea."
Omar
I
accepts
accept
the
the
second
Oh.
gold.
Thank
It's
you
a very
kindly.
good sack.
Thank you.
What is that smell? Is that lavender?
She says, "Patchouli, actually."
Oh, it's been so long.
Patchouli smells funny.
Emil nods at Yep.
Well,
And she
Marianne...
rolls out a... Sorry, go ahead.
No, he was gonna ask what's next, but she's doing stuff, so he's paying attention.
She pulls out she opens one of her desk drawers and pulls out a map and lays it out. And it's the same map that was at the Siren Song, only much larger and a lot more detailed. And she sets the sea glass chunk on one side and then a candlestick on the other to hold it open. And she points to... Go to the map here. She points to this island over here. She says, "This is where I was sending my ships to. And they haven't returned. And this is where I want you guys to go. And this is also the location of the mine.
Simple enough.
I have a question. It's a little off topic. Is there a spa in town?
There is a hot springs not too far from the siren song.
Oh.
Marion, when do you want to leave? Or when?
As soon as you can, but feel free to take a few days off if you guys need to recuperate. I know dealing with Jeremy wouldn't have been easy.
It wasn't as hard as you
Nonsense.
think.
He was slayed without a second thought. No difficulty at all.
In truth, I can be ready as early, or I can personally be ready as early as tomorrow morning, but taking a day to shop around a bit might not be a bad idea, especially with this kind, generous payment you have offered us.
Well, you're gonna get the same rate if you guys want. 10 gold per day whenever you guys go out to Baral. And feel free to investigate the mine if you want. But I'm mostly looking for my downed ships.
Why is the island called Baral?
She shrugs and says, who knows?
Perhaps I can look into the history of this island. Might help us.
Does Delmar and his Tritonus know anything about the island?
You know that for as long as you've been around, no one generally goes there. It's abandoned. There's not a whole lot of life on the island. Besides the various lizard, it's a very hostile environment.
Emma looks at Yip and she says, "You're such a pragmatic leader, Don Yip."
Thank you. I try to be. But if Xaverin needs days off to rest and scrub his unmentionables, we will allow him to do so.
I don't need days. I just would like to have a nice pampering. Is that so much to ask for?
And I'd rather not talk about Zaverin's unmentionables.
He seems to mention them quite frequently, so they should be called dimensionables, probably.
You're probably
I have
right.
no concerns with you talking about my mentionables.
Well, go and wash your mentionables in the hot springs and relax. You have earned it. Oh, and before we leave, Miss Goldone, I began taking the giant paper off my lance and kind of unfurl it. This is something we found in the sea. It is a love poem written by a giant.
It was in a very large bottle.
Where on earth do you think we would find someone of this size writing poetry?
Well, I don't know of any giants near here. I know that there's a colony on another continent, but
A mystery.
It's a message in a bottle. Someone's sending out an SOS.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't seem like an SOS. It seemed like a poem. A lover's.
Oh yes, it's a lover's SOS. Come on.
It doesn't mention his soul specifically. It does mention death despite at one point, I guess. Perhaps. I begin rolling it back on the lance. Takes a while.
it does take a while. Big scroll.
I kind of like put it underneath my feet. I begin to like Flintstone it as much as I can. Just.
Oh, Jesus.
Delmar looks at.
Marion,
Oh, go on.
Marianne says, and we'll be taking my ship. It's outfitted better than the rest of my fleet and can handle the waters around Baral.
Oh.
Finally, a ship befitting your stature, Zaverin.
I feel like this is the one from my dream. Or my vision.
Companions, says Delmar. As far as when we are leaving, I believe the day after tomorrow may be the wisest.
Oh.
You can pamper yourself. I can do the shopping I wish to do.
Oh, you do not wish to join me?
Well, I need the day to do the shopping and to perhaps join you. And he kind of wiggles
Oh,
his
you
eyebrows.
see. You do the shop. We do the shopping in the day. We make a day of it, and then in the evening we go and we treat ourselves. And Commander Yip can do his push-ups.
Yep, I keep thinking of that, but I think we should go back and try it again.
It was quite good. We can return to wherever the place with the kind greetings. The angry sideward stares.
The sickle.
I have one
Yes, the
question.
sickle.
Milady, what do you like to be called?
It's just Marianne's fine.
Okay, Marianne. Hob is not on this ship, is he?
No, that's Francis's cook.
Okay, alright.
I feel like we should use the term cook very loosely.
Why, he prepared food for us. That is a cook.
I don't know what kind of gruel you're used to eating, but I feared for your life.
The only thing you have to fear for my life is the quantity. But, Miss Marianne, is there rooms aboard your ship for us to rest? Or will we need to provide our own?
You can rest on my ship, that's fine. I'll have one of my deckhands show you to your rooms.
You are very gracious. I give her a small bow.
If there anything like this, we're in for a treat.
This is room befitting of a leader. I doubt our rooms will be as decorated.
Yep, I promise you, your room will be decorated to befit your standing.
His tail just begins wagging. This is very good. I am prepared to see it. But I should go check on Tater Trot. And we must get the mutton, yes, Emil?
Yes, we must get the mutton.
Come then.
I'll
And
go
I
with
begin
you.
heading out. My head really high and chin just in the air.
He's such a magnificent leader. Emil says that with an air of sarcasm in her voice.
Marianne
I
laughed.
do not note any sort of sarcasm. I believe you at earnest.
Delmar will follow for mutton if we're gonna play that out again.
Oh yeah, Munyo.
Okay. So you guys head over to the sickle. And it's a lot more, since it's the evening, it's a lot more crowded tonight than it was the first time here. Still the same kind of patrons. They're all very, very crusty and salty sea dogs. And the bartender recognizes you and rolls his eyes.
Oh, we have returned!
We get up to the same antics.
Absolutely.
I hold the sword northward.
Like you can copy paste what we did last week to this week.
Delma, I'm very interested in your people. What sort of instruments do you use?
He pulls out the horn. He says, we tend to use the wind instruments when we are above the surface, obviously. When we are below the surface, we tend to use percussion that reverberates in the water. It would be much too, how do you say, too low of an octave to hear above the sea. But in the water, it rings perfectly.
While she's listening to this, Emil yells out to the bartender. Bartender, I'll take a pot of your best ale.
He
pot of your best ale.
he nods and brings you guys out like a mini cask.
Fucking cauldron.
I'm just thinking about the last time, the pot.
We just
She had the ale in it.
We just dip our fucking steins into it.
Yep. And he brings you out a pot just to.
Fuck with us.
Yep, basically.
So with my 21 passive perception, I would like to find the most seediest looking man in here.
Okay, he's in like a booth in the dark corner, and he has a couple swords at his belt, and he got like scars all over his face. He looks rough.
Oh, barking. Could you procure for me a drink for that man?
He gives you a weird look, and
Put it on our tab.
he brings you a tankard of ale and says, "Give it to him yourself."
Okay, I'll just do your job for you.
Would
I
you
will-
like me to deliver it, Zavrin?
Oh, it's fine. I can do it. I guess I'm on staff here now. I will prance over with the jug of ale.
Prance.
Lay it on. Here you go, sir. I figured you could use another.
Say prance, it makes me think of like the run where your elbows are slightly bent and your wrists are like flicking back and forth.
God.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. And I always have like over-exaggerated hip movement.
Yes.
He stares at you weirdly, and he says, "Much obliged, I guess."
Oh, I see you're fully nicked out and sailor regalia. Are you a sailor?
He gestures to himself and says, "Duh."
Oh.
Emma's watching with amusement. She has her feet on the table and her hands behind her head.
Mayhap you can regale me with a tale of your exploit.
He kind of like does that weird like one eyebrow up thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Cocks his
Confused
eyebrow.
look. And he says, "I think I've killed more men than you can even count."
I will sit down in the booth next to him. I'll put my elbows up onto the table and my hands on my chin and look at him.
Wait, next to him or across?
I can count quite high. Like across from him.
He begins to launch into tales of piracy. Basically, he starts really getting into it. Like, you didn't expect this. He pulls out his dagger, slams it into the table, and talks about gouging a man's eye out while he was still living, and
Delmar is watching this go down.
because he was the man that he gouged his eye out was a merchant, and his wife was aboard, and he talks about just disgusting things.
I'm a sailor too. Newly, I must say, but we were out there on the ocean, and this ship came out of the fog. It was these strange skin. Their skin was tight to the bones, and there were skeletons, basically. Have you ever seen anything like that?
He spits and says, "I've come across my fair share of undead."
Rancid-smelling creatures.
He says, I agree with you.
What's your name, sir?
Emmett.
Emmett. My name Zavern Windsong.
He reaches out a hand, and it is a disgusting, like, dirty hand with, like, calluses everywhere and lots of dirt under the fingernails.
I take it.
He shakes it hard and, like, squeezes your hand really hard.
Oh. Listen, you seem to be a wealth of knowledge. You stand out amongst all of the other swag here. Do you know anything about, this, what's her name? Amelia? What was her name?
Marion?
Marion. Do you know anything about this Marion?
Ooh. He kind of goes quiet, and he's like, Marianne is a wonderful woman.
Oh, she certainly has good taste.
He looks visibly uncomfortable.
We're doing jobs for her now, and we're heading out to this mystery island with the mine and the missing ships. Do you know anything about this place?
It's a cursed place. No one comes back from there alive.
A curse. Oh. What do you mean no one comes back alive?
I mean, no one's come back alive. What's hard to understand about that?
So you're saying if someone was to come back alive, they would be...
It would be a miracle.
legendary?
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, this will be great for my song. Oh.
Song.
Yes, I am what you would say, a performer of sorts.
You one of them weird bards.
Weird bards. What do you mean?
I think you know what I mean.
Are you asking if I have the ability to produce sound waves that cripple and destroy things around me? Yes. With a single flick from my lute, I can make any man bend to their knees for me. Bend to my will.
He narrows his eyes at your wording and says, "Well, you tell Marianne that Emmett sends his regards," and then he gets up and he leaves.
Oh, it was a pleasure, Emmett. Hope we meet again.
He slams the door on his way out.
I will saunter back to the table and be like, I think he likes me.
What did you say to him?
Oh, I feel like he has a soft spot for bards.
More like a tender sore. He slammed the door behind him.
I'll kind of like walk 2 fingers across the table towards Delmar and be like, oh, but sometimes a farmhand is good.
Delmar shrugs. Takes a bite of mutton. If you say so.
Emma rolls her eyes.
So, is your mutton good?
Delicious as always.
The mutton was wonderful. The entertainment was fabulous.
Well, I haven't even played anything yet.
Dear Zavrin, just having you around is wonderful.
Yes, I have been told by many a suitor that my presence makes everything better.
That's what I was thinking.
Excuse me, barkeep, could I get a fork and knife, please?
He brings you a dagger. No fork.
Oh.
None of us got forks?
Nope, none of you got
okay.
forks.
This is more of a eating with your hands place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I will produce a mage hand and use the mage hand to cut the mutton.
There you go.
And then
You get a
the
bunch
mage
of
hand
weird
just
looks.
So, as people are looking at me, the mage hand slowly puts meat onto my tongue.
Emma produces her mage hand and slaps his mage hand.
Oh.
The mutton goes flying out of the mage hand and onto the floor.
What just happened?
Oh.
That was a waste of meat.
I walk over to the mutton off the ground and I go pick it up. Slap it back on his plate. There you go.
Oh.
What? You're not going to waste it, are you?
Suddenly I am no longer hungry.
More for me. I push his thing over to my side.
And the mutton is dirty.
I eat the dirty mutton.
When was the last time these floors were cleaned?
Long time ago.
Oh boy.
Is this like a dirt floor?
Let's not ask questions we don't want the answer to.
It's a stone floor.
Oh, it's all
Alright.
caked
Does
with
it look like a
lime.
dirt floor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
I will then cast prestidigitation on my hand that I touched the man with.
It doesn't help.
Oh.
It is magically dirty.
Yep.
Amazing. Amar doesn't engage much anymore. He, after he finishes eating, his intent is to hop in the water and sleep underneath the waves again.
Okay.
Delmar, have another drink with us.
Before
you leave.
He's not. I'm not doing it now. I'm just saying that I'm done playing out whatever for Cinna's sake. So he does have another drink though.
Wonderful. You guys have a merry night of drinking and eating dirty mutton.
Yes.
And,
No debauchery.
You're not gonna find debauchery at the sickle, dear Zavrin.
Emma pulls out her pan flute and just starts playing a little tune, hoping to egg on the gentleman.
A couple of them like turn around and look at you when you start playing, but turn back around to their drinks.
Anyone else playing out scenes?
What time of day is it? It's evening, I assume.
Yeah, it's probably close to 10 or 11 o'clock.
Oh, I guess we will have to wait for our shopping and pampering tomorrow. Oh.
That's why I said we would depart the day after tomorrow.
Don Yip, will you escort me back to the ship?
Gladly, I will take you back.
I'm so happy that I have your protection.
How much money does this run us, Cinna?
I have no idea. Like a gold.
Just the gold?
Yeah.
All right.
Emma slaps down an extra gold for the bark.
He takes both pieces of gold and bites them.
You should really continue. Never mind.
And then you guys head back to the ship. And your guys' quarters are lovely. They are impeccable.
Oh.
They're not quite as nice as Marianne's room, but they're still like a really nice bed, a desk for you to work in.
Is there a wash basin?
Yes, there is. Yips has a couple of extra rugs that you can tell that they just put them down for him.
Does mine smell like lavender?
No. It smells like
Damn it.
smells like wood.
Mahogany.
I very excitedly like zip all around the room real quickly and like move drawers and check out everything and just be like all excited about her.
I love it.
Emma washes up and lays on top of whatever blankets are on her bed and just sleeps with covered by her.
Alright. And the night passes with that incident, and I think we'll stop it there, just in time.
Next week, Justin.
Oh, yes, I will not be here next week. I have to walk.
You should quit.
To war. To war.
Unfortunately, I cannot just quit.
Darn those bills that need to be paid.
I wish I could just quit. Although, if I win the 50 million tomorrow, I will quit, so.
Oh, I think anyone would quit.
Best luck.
Cross your fingers for Justin. Alright.
I'm going to build a house with a moat.
Alright. Bye,
Probably a
Joy.
gaming
Bye,
room.
Joy.
Bye, Joy.
Bye, Joy.
Next week we will pick up with shopping and then heading out to Barral.
It'll be real quick since we unfortunately won't have Justin.
I know. You won't be able to get your hot springs in.
Yeah. I was like,
You can always like tell Senna what you want to do if you have any evil machinations you're planning.
No, I just wanted to be scrubbed down by people.
Okay,
I'm
so
ending the stream.